What's going on, guys? Kaivox here, and welcome to the install of the Gen 3 Tesla wall connector kaboom. So we're gonna be installing it right there. So before we get too far into this video, I just wanna make sure you guys know that this is not a step-by-step tutorial. This is exactly how you should do it. Definitely, I recommend for everybody, hire an electrician, have somebody else do it, unless you're 100% confident. Obviously, everybody that's on YouTube has to say something like this because we're not professionals. I feel like it's not necessary to say, but I still feel like I need to say it. That contradicts itself. If you don't know what you're doing, you probably shouldn't do this, but let's just have some fun anyway. Stay tuned till the end of the video because I will be going over kind of my overall thoughts, because as I was doing it, I was just kind of trying to get it done and record some of it. I will go over it again at the end, just some things that I found and some thoughts about the Wi-Fi of it. And now back to your regularly scheduled install. The Model 3 is gonna be right here. As you can see, this isn't a Model 3, this is a Subaru. Oh no. It's gonna go right here. We're gonna just kablammy and then go right there, plug it in, and this should be fun. So I'm still extremely surprised at just how simple this new, the new design for this little charger is. I'm psyched. This is gonna be fun. Let's pop this guy up here. Get this little back cover off. So pretty much to install it, right? This is really all you're gonna need. You're gonna need this, as long as you have the power already set up, which we do have. We got the 6-gauge wire set up right here. I put the wire nuts on it just as a, I don't know, I think it looked better. I just didn't really want to have it bare boned. I have a ton of extra wire here, as you can see. So we shouldn't have an issue. It's gonna go right around here somewhere, probably about this height. And we just need to set up the proper things. The box is pretty bare bone. So if you didn't already know, this thing basically comes with a quick start guide and a template for mounting it onto the wall. And that's it. So pretty much all we're gonna do is we're gonna take the back panel and we're gonna screw it into the wall itself and then plug in some wires. That's it. One issue that you may have if you're going from the Gen 2 to the Gen 3 is gonna be that your wires are probably much shorter. And according to the instructions, they actually want you to route it around and up here. So if you're coming in from either of these 3 bottom ports right here, so 1, 2, and 3, what they're gonna want you to do is run it around this way and zip tie it right there, and then into the top ports. And if you're coming in from the top, you wrap it around this way and into the bottom. I'm not sure if that's just to make sure you have the slack for the wires, but if you are coming from the Gen 2, you'll notice that your wires are much shorter. You can still terminate them here, but I don't know if there's any sort of reasoning that they want you to wrap around. Most likely not, but I just want to make sure everybody knew that. I've seen a few installs already that they ended up doing it that way, the short way. I guess technically it's wrong, but you know, who cares? As long as your house doesn't burn down, I think you should be okay. So we are going to be coming in from the bottom connection on this. So we're gonna have to do something a little bit different. I'm gonna be using this fitting right here. And if you notice, it's going to be too long, so therefore this is gonna be super sloppy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna modify this guy a little bit. Obviously there are other solutions, but I don't have them right now. So we're just gonna chop off part of the threaded end here, and we should be okay after that. All right, so after a little bit of modification, we got a nice little connection. should be good. If you did notice, we are drilling directly into the concrete right there. I'll most likely be using these Tapcon screws. They worked well for the mounting the power coming over to it. So taking a look here at the height, they recommend to the center, it looks like, to go about 45 to 48 inches. Where's my freaking tape measure? So I'm debating, should I use more than 2 screws? Because they give you 2, they say you only need 2, but I don't know. Should I go with 4 just for fun? Should I just go with like all of them? No, I'm just kidding. You can mount it up into, there's 6 different holes you can go into. Maybe I'll do 3. I'll do 2 on the top and 1 on the bottom. I opened up the garage door, a little too dark. We got our 3 holes drilled up. Like I said, I'm gonna go with 3 just because I'm going into concrete, so I feel like it'll be better. I don't trust drilling into concrete, so that's the end of it. I don't think I mentioned this, but we have some original art right here by the previous owner's kids, I guess. Yes, Mikachi and I could have just removed it, but I felt like it brought a little bit of charm. It came with the house. It was free of charge. So we have some beautiful wall mural over here, and I think it looks weird. Okay, cool. Maybe I should remove that. I don't know. Let me know down below what you guys think. I don't even know what that says. Sean? Maybe it says Sean. All right, and then there's a face and a stick figure. So that's cool. Yeah, so I ended up using these screws instead of the supplied screws, mostly just because I know that these are made to hold on, and this thing is on there very nicely. So what we're gonna be doing now is just, figuring out exactly how much wire we're gonna need, which is gonna be roughly about that. We're gonna put in that zip tie here, and there's actually a nice little gauge right there that you can see that tells you how much to strip back of the wire itself. So that's pretty nice. I like the fact that they have that. Okay, so just a little recommendation here. I would definitely say route your zip tie in first, just so that you don't have to work around these wires to try to get that zip tie to fit and move the wires all around. So all we got to do now is to put on the last line here, and we should be okay. So here you have it. So now it's the moment of truth. Will this work? Too bad I don't have my Model 3 yet to test. But let's plug it in and see what happens. I was having some trouble rolling up the wire. At some point I thought I was good, and I actually was wrapping it backwards, because you're supposed to go counterclockwise so that the handle could then go into it again. It's most likely too tight, but for now we're not going to be using it, so we're just going to leave it the way it is. All right, we got the green light. That means we're good. So now all that's left is to set up the Wi-Fi for it. This does come with the instructions. All right, so we're all set. So now we can just unhook this, undo this a little bit over here, run it. Oh, that's too short. All right, I'm gonna need the whole thing. All right, just run it over here, and haven't gotten it in yet, so, Couple more days. Yeah, so the good news is that we are going to be getting the car a little bit sooner. We were going to be getting it in about 11 days or 10 days, I think it was now. They moved it up by like 3 days. So we're looking at this time next week, we should have the car. Psyched. And we're also gonna be having a friend of ours that has a performance Model 3 2020. And he's gonna be coming over this weekend and we're gonna be recording some stuff with him. So that's gonna be fun. If you guys wanna support the channel, you obviously can like, subscribe, and leave a comment. But also, if you plan on getting a Model 3, there is the referral code in the description. So back to the Wi-Fi. So I mentioned earlier that I had a thing with the Wi-Fi. For the most part, the install was pretty good. I didn't really, I had it set up, I had it ready to go. The hardest part was getting the power all the way out there because it's a pretty long run. But again, having an electrician do that, if you don't want to have the electrician install it, I feel like most people that can turn a wrench, that can, knows how to use a screwdriver, can follow the instructions. Tesla has pretty decent instructions on their website. I'll put a link in the description to the page that has the install. That has 2 videos, one on how to set up the Wi-Fi and one on how to basically install it. And it's a pretty simple install. They go over pretty much like the whole book, kinda a little bit. So it's pretty good. I watched it like 5 times, 10 times, I don't know. I watched it a ton because I was excited about getting this one in. So I was like, I'm gonna just watch this. It was so good. And it's pretty good. It kind of like, it helped me calm down a little bit more. I definitely recommend watching it a couple times, reading through the owner's manual. It's pretty simple. Compared to the old one, I'd say it's like 25% easier. The old one was already pretty easy. There's a little bit less finagling of wires in this one. It's just getting the wire around and you're golden, pony boy. So it's really not that bad. During the install, the hardest part that I had was knowing which one of these was the password. It's the WPA2, which, I should have realized that. On this little quick start guide, there is the instructions for what you have to do for connecting to the Wi-Fi. After you connect to the Wi-Fi of the charger itself, you do have to go to a URL that's right here, which is http://192.168.92.1 blah blah blah. Okay, whatever. It's like you're connecting to a router or something on the network. So once you are on that, then you can go through the wizard and you're pretty much set at that point. It's very easy. You basically just choose and tell it what your breaker is, what your wire is rated for. So in my case, I put in a 50 amp just because I have a lot on my board already. So I don't want to have the risk of it. I don't need super fast charging because we aren't going to be driving this car every single day. So for the most part, it's going to probably sit there 2 days in a row without having to fully charge. So honestly, I think I could make it off of a 15 amp, just a wall outlet, but this just looks super nice. As you saw, it looks really nice and it's super convenient in case we do need it a couple days in a row. I've seen plenty of videos and you pretty much, if you drive the car every day, unless you're putting like 5 miles on it, less than 20 miles, I would say, every single day, you pretty much can't live off of a 15 amp charger. I'm sure that there are some people out there that can, okay? Don't quote me. It's not just for the most part. I would say on a scale of like 1 to 10 for difficulty, if you have an electrician set up the wire and just have it coming right out there, it's like a 3. You just have to have the tools, which they give you the Allen to screw in the screws. If you're going into cement, you may have to get like the screws and the drill bit to be able to drill into cement and a hammer drill. So there's a couple of extra things you need there, but if you're going into wood, you're golden, man. It's just you're all set. Hopefully Tesla comes out with some cool, weird updates for these. And if they do, I definitely will be making a video based on the firmware update if they do anything. But we'll see in the next couple months what happens. And hopefully you guys have been enjoying these videos that I've been putting out. And I do plan on continuing. So if you guys do like, leave a comment down below. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, bye, bye.